Well, this was an unexpected start to my day. Yeah, this is a view out of my window this morning, and looks like AEW Sting has paid my local area a visit. Yeah, he stood on that ring ramp a little bit too long, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the snow, but here's a view outside where I live. We're going to go over to myself now for the video. Hi guys, it's Dave in real life, and welcome to this very different kind of video, bit of a trial with Royal Rumble being at the end of this month. Decided to do a retro review of past Royal Rumbles, starting with Royal Rumble from 1988, which was broadcast on the 24th of January at the Cobbs Coliseum in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. The attendance for this event was 18,000. It was the first televised Royal Rumble, which was a USA Network special and not a pay-per-view. This wasn't the first actual Royal Rumble, as there was an experimental Rumble on October the 1987 in St. Louis, Missouri. Like I said, it wasn't televised, it was like an experiment, which saw the one-man gang win the said event. But if you check the records, it is nowhere to be seen. Fun fact, the Royal Rumble was the brainchild of the late great Pat Patterson. Yeah, and the colour commentators for this pay-per-view was Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body Ventura. 4 matches scheduled for this event, which we're going to go in and have a look at them now. The first match saw Ricky the Steamboat versus Rick Rude. Quite an entertaining match, as you'd expect from these two. But there was one element which was quite annoying. The female in a crowd kept screaming through like a megaphone, like screaming, cheering for Steamboat and jeering Rick Rude, which did get quite a bit annoying, to the point where the commentators had to talk about it too. Ricky Steamboat went on to win the match by disqualification. Pretty entertaining opening bout between these two, which they would go on to have further battles in like WCW. Yeah, to move on to the second match on the card, and this was for the female tag team championship. Yeah, surprisingly enough, Bayley and Sasha aren't the first ever female tag team champs in WWE history. Yeah, check the books, guys. It was the Glamour Girls what went into this one as the champions. Managed by Jimmy the Mouth of the South. And yeah, looks like it wasn't a female in the crowd after all. Maybe it was Jimmy Mouth of the South with the megaphone. They went up against the Jumping Bomb Angels. Oh, big duo from Japan. Honestly, if you've not seen any of their matches, go check them out. They were top of the game at the time. This match was a 2 out of 3 falls match. Glamour Girls snuck the first win in, but then the Jumping Bomb Angels won out the last 2 pinfalls to become your new WWF Tag Team Champions. Yeah, probably was the second best match on the card, in my opinion. Not a bad little show from these ladies. I don't know where they got the Glamour Girls thing from, because these are not pretty women at all. I'm sorry, but oops. We do go on to like a mini segment. Dino Bravo trying to break the bench press record. Yeah, this was just your typical heel skint. He'd like have loads of like warm up like tries, and yeah, it just took forever to a point where they were like telling the crowd to be quiet while he was making his attempts. Uh, yeah, he eventually went for the record by picking up the. He had trouble holding it into position. So Jesse, the body Ventura, who was at the side of him while he was doing this, give him a little bit of an help. So it's not an official world record, but obviously Dino Bravo would go on to claim that he was a record breaker going forward, as yes, of course, as an heel. Why wouldn't he? Go on to what should have been the main event, but wasn't, which was the 20-man Battle Royal, the Royal Rumble match, not the Battle Royal match. Yeah, we now know it as a 30-man Royal Rumble, but it did start off its life as a 20-man Royal Rumble. So, yeah. Bret Hart was the first entrant at number 1 and was the longest runner in this match, if that's how to say it. Yeah, he lasted 25 minutes and 42 seconds before finally getting eliminated. The first eliminated wrestler in Royal Rumble was Butch Reed. Yes, the natural Butch Reed was the one that got eliminated first. I think he joined WCW shortly after that. I'm not 100% sure, because I think he went on to join the tag team Doom around about this time. One man gang who won the non-official Royal Rumble got the most eliminations, with eliminating 6 people, and was the last one to be eliminated himself by the eventual winner, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Yes, Hacksaw Jim Duggan is your official first ever Royal Rumble winner. Pretty standard stuff to what we see now with the Royal Rumble. But this was a groundbreaking at the time, as nobody'd seen something like this. I think they'd done like battle royals where all the wrestlers were in at the ring at the same time, but this was like you start with 2, then 1 every 2 minutes would come down to the ring. Yeah, it just changed the way the battle royal was perceived. So yeah, this was the first one, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan is your first winner. We go on to an in-ring segment, which basically was the whole point of this show, in my opinion, was to get over the rematch between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, as they had an in-ring contract signing. Yeah, also with Andre the Giant in this contract signing was the $1 Million Man. Yes, this was the start of the All Championship being bought by the $1 Million Man. Yeah, which would lead to WrestleMania 4, where it would be competed for in a tournament fashion. Yeah, this were good little back and forth, really goating Hogan into signing the contract. $1 Million Man pretty much selling that he could put like cash incentives in for Andre the Giant if he won. Yeah, really playing that money can buy you anything, even a championship. The segment ended with Andre the Giant throwing a table onto Hulk Hogan. Yeah, normally to go through tables. This was a heavy duty wooden table, so there was no way anybody was going to go through it. So ended up being thrown on top of a already downed Hulk Hogan. There would be more like promos between these guys throughout the night, even interrupting the night's main event, which was a tag team match between the Islanders, which was Tama and Haku. Fun fact for people who have been watching MLW, Jacob Fatu is the son of Tama, who was in the Islanders. Haku, we all know, went on to be like Bobby Heenan, family member, and King Haku at one point. They went up against the Young Stallions, which was a team of Paul Roma, who was going to Power and Glory, and Jim Powers. Really, nothing really manipulated big storylines for Jim Powers. He was just one of them guys that were around at this particular time. Yeah, the Islanders won pretty convincingly in the main event. To be honest, to have a tag team match of this magnitude for no titles in your main event on such a bigger show as the Royal Rumble should be, yeah, you could really tell this was like a network special, and yeah, it really put a toll on the show, to be honest. Yeah, it's always good to see tag teams used in great respect, but yeah, this should never have been the main event. I think the Royal Rumble should have been on top of this card. But yeah, that was the show in all. Commentary was, as you would predict, good back and forth between Vince and Jesse. Jesse being the heel commentator, and obviously Vince being your main guy. Highlight of this pay-per-view was definitely the Royal Rumble. Did think the Jumping Bomb Angels match was pretty decent too. I do give this a score of 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, pretty average. It was the first time that they've done a Royal Rumble. It's not a spectacle or a spectacular event. It's not something that I think for nostalgia and where the Royal Rumble started, it's a must watch. But I wouldn't put it on your top, or if you've got to see this, got to watch this pay-per-view. Well, it wasn't even a pay-per-view, so it is listed as a pay-per-view on the network, even though it was a television special. So yeah, that was my Royal Rumble 1988 review. If you like this kind of retro review, please drop a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, make sure you hit the bell so that you get notified every time I do an upload. Leave comments, let me know if you've seen this Royal Rumble, let me know what you thought of it. Yeah, I've been Dave in real life, you've been awesome, and remember to always keep it real. Until the next time, bye for now.